In this video, we'll be solving a rational equation. A rational equation is an equation that has a rational expression or a fraction for one or more terms. And we'll begin by multiplying both sides of the equation by the least common denominator, or LCD. The problem that we'll be working with is solve for x. We have the fraction x minus 5 over x minus 3 plus the fraction 1 over x is equal to the fraction negative 7 over the quantity x squared minus 3x. I'm noticing that this expression factors. I can pull an x out and I get x times the quantity x minus 3. Now this is convenient because x is also the denominator here, and x minus 3 is the denominator here. So my least common denominator is just x times x minus 3. So I need to multiply both sides of this equation by my least common denominator, which means I'll multiply every term by this. I have x times x minus 3 multiplied by this first term, x minus 5 over x minus 3. And I wrote my least common denominator over 1 so that you can see that this is in the numerator and this is in the denominator, and so these two will cancel. That's the whole reason for multiplying by the least common denominator. So let's continue, plus, and then my least common denominator again, multiplied by this term, and then equals, and my least common denominator multiplied by this term. I'm going to write my denominator as x times x minus 3. So the factored form, then I'll be able to do some canceling. Right, so in my first term, that x minus 3 in the numerator, x minus 3 in the denominator, that's 1, and so those cancel. An x in the numerator and an x in the denominator, that's 1, so those cancel. And on this one, the x over x is 1, and the x minus 3 over x minus 3 is also 1. So now we'll write what's left. We have x multiplied by x minus 5, and then all the rest of these factors are 1s. So plus, and then here I have x minus 3. And then on this one, I just have negative 7. So this is nicer. Let's distribute this x. We have x times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. And then plus x minus 3 equals negative 7. I'm going to put everything on one side and set it equal to 0 so that I can see what, let's add 7 here, see what operation I want to use to solve this. Negative 7 and positive 7 is going to cancel, and I have 0. And then I have x squared. I can combine like terms here. Negative 5x and positive x is a negative 4x. And negative 3 plus 7 is plus 4. Equals 0. Now this trinomial factors, so I think I'm going to use the zero factor property. And in fact, this is a perfect square trinomial. but I'll show that it's x minus 2 times x minus 2, because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, and then negative 2x and negative 2x is negative 4x. So when you have the zero factor property that you're wanting to use, you need a 0 on one side and then factors on the other side, and you can set those factors equal to 0. Now I'll only need to do this once, so I'm going to just say x minus 2 is equal to 0. Add 2 to both sides. These cancel, and x is equal to 2. Now whenever you have a rational equation, you need to always check and make sure you don't have division by 0. But if we substitute 2 into our equation, that's fine here. The only thing you can't have here is 3, because 3 minus 3 is 0, and you can't have a 0. So any other number is fine. X equals 2 is our solution.